All right, we're here at see my buddy Dan. Talked to him about financial freedom and bounce some ideas off each other. Dan is a former host in the nightclub industry that was smart enough to get out of the fucking trap game of the nightlife industry. So I haven't seen him in about a couple of years, so it'll be interesting to catch up with him, and I'm happy to see other people do well in life. So let's go check him out.
Yeah, so how did Dave and you know one another? How did you guys meet?
We met when I was working back in hospitality. So I worked on the Strip for a while. Dave was coming in. Well, yeah, I mean, most people in this world are just so closed-minded, so they don't see the value in what he's doing. They're taking his message at a surface level as opposed to really digging deeper into it and seeing what he's really doing. Like, how many people out there are helping other people make money? You know what I mean? Like, very few. The ones that are doing it have the most haters, but also are pretty wealthy or well off or on their way there. And as many haters as they have, there's a lot of people who also like him or like them, right? When you're helping other people make money, it's a selfless thing. So people look at it as, you know, they're just missing the message because they're closed-minded. If you don't have haters, that means you're not doing something right. That means you're comfortable, because comfortable people don't have enemies, because they're doing what society thinks is the norm, right? But when you have a lot of haters, that means you're breaking barriers, or you're making a difference, or you're changing. Like, the people with the most haters are the most successful. That's just like, this was when like it was a big deal to be a host in this city, and it was looked at as like a higher like level type position. But I mean, they didn't even give you you get to earn business cards. Now they'll hire anyone to be a host these days. Yeah, initially for sure. I mean, I was young and dumb. I was in my early 20s, and you know, money came in quick and it went out even faster. I just was having this conversation with someone the other day, is that I look back into 10 years in hospitality, you know, 6.5 with Tao Group, about a year on my own doing hospitality consulting for other people, and then I worked for SLS, opened that hotel for 2 years. So in the decade of working in hospitality, making, you know, almost $1 million in 10 years, and like, where did it go, right? Like, no one ever educated us and what to do with all the money we're making. And that's kind of how I got into what I do now too. You would get your check on Friday, and you could go down to the casino cage and hand it to them, and they give you money. Like, what kind of world? Like, literally, like, and we would blow it. Like, we would get paid on every Friday. We'd get paid, you know, 2, 3, sometimes 4 or 5 grand, like on a check. You bring it to the cage at the casino, and they hand you cash. And you, by the time you wake up the next day, you lost half of it or most of it. But we didn't care, because you knew next Friday we were getting another one. But they never had someone came in. There was no retirement planning with any of those companies. Like, it's a huge miss in hospitality and the whole Strip. They don't educate people in financial literacy. And when I became a client here initially, you know, 2.5 years ago, I learned the fundamental principles of building wealth and how to save and compound interest and all the things that we never were educated in high school. And I was like, how do people not know this? So the first part of the question, why people don't leave. They don't leave because it's so easy. I mean, I was making over $100,000 a year working 3 days a week. Like, where else can you do that and get paid to party? Like, it doesn't make sense. So it's crazy, right? So like, and then you're in your 20s, early 20s, mid 20s. Why would anyone, I thought I had the best career in the world, but I was blind, right? I didn't see it. And people get stuck in the rut of having a job, right? Just over broke. So they pay you just enough to keep you there, but you can never leave, right? So you get stuck. I call hospitality like quicksand. The longer you're in it, the harder it is to get out. You know, it's tough because it's so good. It's so easy. It's fun, right? Especially, you know, in the earlier years. It gets old after a while, so it just depends on the person. You know, now that everyone's kind of getting into their mid-30s or late 30s or even their 40s, I know they all want a way out. Everyone knows that it's not a forever career or forever job, you know, because they pay you just enough to keep you there, yet you have no growth opportunity. You know, there's people that have been there for 10 years making the same. You know, so like, what are you gonna do? Like, what if that club goes out of business? You find out that the owner is like embezzling money and they close. You're out of a job. Like, what are you gonna do now? So if they're not prepared for the inevitable, whether it's the place closing or they're getting every job in nightlife is irreplaceable like that. You die, they replace you. They fire you, they replace you. But it's awesome for the time being, right? But people have to realize that it's not a forever thing.
Real recognizes real, and then I noticed the changes you made, and you're one of
Sure.
the few people that I recognize that got out of the Vegas nightlife, realized it was a scam, and there's no loyalty there's no future there. And then you started doing, getting into the financial field, and I saw a picture of you and Gary Vee. So I'm observing everything, so I know you're in the right track. So I just wanted to reach out to you and come talk to you, and maybe inspire some people in the audience that's watching, to make some changes in life. Tell us about what you're doing here.
So I saw an opportunity to help educate and bring value to everyone that was in my world and teach them like what they need to do. Like, great, stay in hospitality forever, who cares? But just save, like, everyone in hospitality can afford to save $500, $1,000 a month. And that will change their life forever. But most people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. That's it. So I mean, we were I made close to $1 million over 10 years, and I was like, where the fuck did it go? Like, trying to keep up with you. I was like, shit. I was like, where'd it go?
And how are you doing now?
I'm doing awesome, man.
Really good.
I haven't had to answer someone in 2.5 years.
You're on your
Haven't
own.
had to ask someone to take a vacation or a lunch, or no one tells me what I have to wear. Like,
Did you
when you have to
ever
wear a
know
stupid
about
uniform.
the financial freedom of being self-employed, or no, you never knew that? So I think a lot of people, when I tell people you're never going to be financially free as long as you have a W-2, you need to get to the 1099 quadrant. But I don't think people understand what it's like, and once you get a taste of it, you can never go back.
Never.
So driving a Ferrari, you can't take the fucking Hyundai, to work anymore. It's like you can't. So,
No.
but people don't know how to get there because the school system conditions you to be an employee
Yeah.
and make your boss rich. But
Yep,
do you think
exactly.
people even know what it's like to not have an alarm clock, to not have to ask for time off? Do people know that or no? See, they don't even understand.
No.
Because if I didn't work for myself, I'd rather die. Like,
Yeah.
I can't work for
Me
someone
too.
else.
I always say, I will be a homeless person in San Diego, or maybe if I can make my way to Cabo and hang out at your villa, like, I will be homeless and like broke to nothing before I ever let someone else tell me
What
when
you do,
I
or
can.
what you're worth.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a job. You're replaceable. Like, they don't pay the person, they pay the position, right? So everyone's replaceable at a job. Like, if you die, they will replace you tomorrow.
If you talk back, they don't like
That
it.
too.
The boss has a bad day. You're
Yeah,
done.
man.
There's no loyalty. There's no it's not reliable at all. So you're doing this now, and what exactly are you doing right now?
So we financial services, right? So we do everything, like anything in the financial and insurance industry, we have access to. So we market for different companies like Prudential, Nationwide, Transamerica, you name it. We just educate people, and because we have access to everything, whether it's a 401k for a business or an individual IRA for a business owner, like you name it. Like, it's literally, we're like the Amazon of financial services.
Got it.
So we have access to everything. We have everything that can fit everyone, from someone that saves $50 a month for their college, for their kids' college education, to CEOs putting in 20 grand a week into certain funds. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. We'll help anyone. Whereas the traditional financial industry only helps the affluent and the wealthy, the one percenters. So talk about opportunity. 99% of the people in this country have no education, and it's just about helping as many people as possible.
So no industry people taking the step, or you
One.
and quit probably.
Most of them start and quit for sure. They as soon as they realize that it actually takes hard work to become successful, they're like,
wants
fuck
to
this. I'd rather work 3 days a week and be broke forever. I'm like, okay.
But do you think they know they're gonna be broke at 40, 50, or no?
No, because I was there, right? So you don't realize that.
So you always thought, like, making 100,000 a year as a host, that you would be financially set when you're done.
In the earlier years, for sure.
Then you got wise.
Well, yeah. When I went from making like 115 or 120,000 to like 80 in 12 months, I'm like, and I was working more. I'm like, wait a minute.
It blows my mind. I don't go out anymore, and
Yeah.
I see the same people doing the same shit, and I see people get out of the industry, and then 6 months later, I'm happy to announce and took the job as a customer development. at Hawkins.
Dude, there's so many.
I'm like, dude, you're a loser.
Now
Dude,
everyone's
you're just
going to the
asleep.
Palms.
6 months later, why? It's fucking Palms. No, you don't have a good place, a good hotel. It's not going to work. The Palms is going to fail. The Tropicana is going to fail. All these places fail. It's all about location. They're going to get great support, but 6 months to a year, all the clubs in the Palms all flat in the face because it's off the strip. It's
Yeah.
all about location, but I already know what's going to happen. Just
Yeah.
like I said, Hakkasan Group's going to fail in Cabo. It's in San Jose. No one's going to drive a fucking hour in a taxi on a spring break that's cheap, $200 taxi ride. It's going to go there once and never show up again.
Yep.
So it's just about demographics. So I just
Yeah.
love to see all these people in the industry do these new ideas, and I already know it's going to fail. It's just everyone just thinks it's the next best thing. Everyone wants the shortcuts in life. They would invest so much time in their financial literacy or building a side hustle or building
Yeah.
their own business
Oh,
than
for
promoting
sure,
a
man.
nightclub that's going to fail. They would have
Yeah,
something, but these
it's-
people don't think outside the box. Yeah, I wonder what all these people are going to do. You know, they leave the industry after 10, 15 years and they got no car paid off, no house paid off. They're still living in Panorama, $1,000 BMW Mercedes payment. They got nothing.
Yeah.
All the lubes.
Yeah.
You know, the guys got all the they got all the Jordan shoes but no car. Hosts have every set of Jordans but no car.
Or they rent.
Yeah, they're all rent. There's
Yeah.
no one that, and the people are like, I bought a house. You don't own the house. The
bank
bank owns
owns it.
the house. Just 'cause
Yeah.
they're like, I'm so proud I bought my house, dude. You put 5% down. The bank owns 95%. You don't own shit. The bank owns it. They don't understand that.
They don't get, yeah, you know. So it's just about I wanna educate them. So instead of fighting the fight, which is what I've been doing for the last 2 years and trying to help them.
Can't help the people that don't want to help.
What I've realized is this city is such an employee-minded city, right? Their mindset is so employee-minded. It's crazy.
Hospitality.
It's crazy. From nightlife to the dealers. Like you walk into a casino and you look at the dealers or the pit bosses who are in their 60s, like still putting out cards. They're like a ghost. It's crazy. It's like sad, right? And like they didn't plan to do that. They just get stuck in it, and hospitality is like quicksand. Like the longer you're in, the harder it is to get out, because they don't think anyone will hire them to do anything else. But the world is changing, man. Like the entrepreneurial space is like opening up a lot of windows, and it doesn't matter if you're 20 or 50. Like
if you're
you know?
good enough, the market will respond.
It's a work ethic.
You know, like I said, this industry about being successful is 50% skill and talent, 50% work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, you need both of them to be successful. And I tell people, you know, like you look in pro sports, the 10,000th best NBA player or athlete, what are they doing? They're working at Home Depot now. You know, if you're the 10,000th, but the 10,000th best entrepreneur owns the Home Depot.
Right.
You know, so that's the difference between, you know, being an athlete, entrepreneurship's the cool shit right now.
Like self-development like changed my life. Like reading, podcasts, and like investing time in me.
So you change your circle of friends too?
Oh, I mean, that's like the number one, right? Your associations.
Get rid of your loser friends.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry they're losers, but you know what? I had to cut them out because
Yeah.
they don't do that. All
You
they
have
care
to.
about is banging bitches and drinking every night.
Oh yeah, I went from hanging out with the people that are still doing the same shit to hanging out with people who have built $1 million businesses, who are making $5, $10, $15 million residual annual income. Like,
all right, so we just wrapped up a nice day in the life, checking my boy Dan, who was once in the industry, you know, one of the smart guys, one of the few I can count on less than my fingers here, that got out of the rat race from the nightclub industry, which is the horrible industry to work for in Vegas, and got out to start his own business, to stop being an employee, to become financially free, to be an entrepreneur. And I enjoy the fact that you like helping people, that you want people to be self-aware, that there's another life out there than from being a slave and making your boss rich, that you can have financial freedom and make yourself rich. They don't play the long-term game. They're 30 years old, 40 years old. They keep saying, one more year, one more year. God, if I had $100 for every time someone said one more year in the industry, I'd have a great secondary source of income coming in. But we just want people to be self-aware. We want to help people, you know, and realize that there is no future working a 9 to 5 if you really want the finer things in life. If you want freedom, time freedom, and wealth, you need to be able to work for yourself. You need to be able to be self-aware and find out what you're good at. Because until you find out what you're good at, you're never going to be successful in life. So try as many opportunities as possible. You only have 2 or 3 opportunities in this world, and you don't want to pass them up. Because if you take those opportunities and you succeed, you're a winner in the game of life. And if you fail for some reason, at least you won't have a regret and say, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that. And also if you fail, you'll always find a job. That sucker zone of having a 9 to 5 with a $40,000 a year salary and a 401k that matches you will always be there. So even if you fail, you can always come back to that sucker zone, because a job and a boss are always opportunities given out there. Because remember, everybody needs employees, so the rich get richer and the wealthier get wealthier. So remember, take chances in life. Do what I do. Change your circle of friends. Like Dan said, get rid of your loser friends. Start hanging out with people that can bring you up and inspire you. Remember, you have to learn and have an open mind and be teachable. If you're sick and tired of waving sparklers in the air or walking your fucking clients to tables at nightclubs and working the pools in the morning and working the clubs at night, and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, hope this resonated with one of you guys. Hit me up or hit Dan up if you have an open mind, because we can teach you how to become financially free. Just have an open mind and be a hard worker. That's all you need. If you like this episode and you want to get in contact with me or Dan, comment below and let me know what you learned the most about in today's vlog. And let me know if you're looking to get into financial freedom and get out of the W-2 quadrant to the 1099 world.